My name is Meera Patmaraja, and today, as part of our Hindu Temple of Antelope Valley 2021 Akhilandeswari Utsav festivities, I have the pleasure of interviewing 13-year-old Abhimanyu Sukhdiyal. Abhi's novella, 3 Days Till EOC, a sci-fi thriller around climate change, won Stone Soup Magazine's International Book Competition in 2019 and was published by them in September 2020. On Earth Day this year, the book was selected as the honor winner in the Young Adult Fiction category in the Green Earth Book Awards, a national award that recognizes children's and young adult literature that best promotes environmental stewardship. Abhi's book was the only one recognized that was written by a young person in a competitive field of over 180 books by experienced adult authors. From a young age, Abhi has been fortunate to have Sri Amma's darshan on numerous occasions in Rochester, San Jose, Brownsville, and Delhi. He reviewed the English translation of Sri Amma's Bhuvana and the Secret of the Hidden Treasure for the Krishna Janmashtami program sponsored by Nandalala Mission last year. Abhi will be starting 8th grade this fall. He lives with his parents and younger brother, Adiraj, in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Welcome, Abhi, and thank you so much for taking the time to be here on Zoom. Congratulations on all your amazing achievements. I'm really excited to be able to talk to you about your book. And before we begin, I want to invite you to invoke Sri Amma's blessings with a shloka.
Good morning, Jai Nandalala. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to participate in this special event. I would first like to say a mantra to Goddess Saraswati. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupani Vidyayambam Karishame Siddha Bhavatu Me Sada.
Thank you, Abhi. I was told by your mother that you and your brother recite that shloka every evening and really wonder whether that's what's powering your hard work and success. So to start us off, could you tell us about the title of your book?
Okay, so I started making this book during the summer of 2019 before COVID began. Surprisingly, the book wasn't originally going to be about climate change. It was actually going to be about a pandemic that's taking over the world. Ironic, right? But when I was in India, I saw some news about a local drought people were suffering from. And I decided, hey, why not make the story about climate change? It's a relatable situation that's happening right now. When I was a young kid, I enjoyed playing with letters and making short words, and soon I started reading and writing. In second grade, I discovered a competition known as Reflections, where kids pre-K to 12th grade can contribute different forms of art, such as dance choreography, music composition, and of course, film and literature. I started writing short stories for Reflections and entering them in the competition. I did this for many years before discovering Stone Soup, a literary children's magazine for kids 14 and under. I contributed essays, comics, and my favorite book and movie reviews. In 2019, Stone Soup held their first international book contest. We have to write a story 4,000 words or more during that summer. So that's what I did. I spent the whole summer in India writing my story, going over multiple drafts and editing it over and over again. I submitted and learned soon after that I won, and it was very surprising and exciting.
Wow, that sounds like an incredible journey. So the title of the book, 3 Days Till EOC. EOC stands for?
End of Civilization.
Okay, yeah, End of Civilization. That was an intriguing title to me. And it's such an interesting story that it went from being a book about a pandemic to a book about climate change. I want to talk a little bit more about that topic of climate change. I also want to call out that your parents and family are longtime devotees of Sri Amma, who I'm very sure has been watching over you and smiling from somewhere in the cosmos about your hard work and accomplishments. Sri Amma would surely have been intrigued by your book, being a prolific author herself and someone who was an ardent lover of nature, water, and the planet. There's a really clear message in your book directed towards political leaders and those in influential positions today. Can you explain to us what that message was about?
Sure. So in my story, I first had my protagonist, whose name is Graham, try to convince the leaders of the world to take climate change seriously and take action to stop it. But the plan fails, and Graham has to come up with a different, creative way to stop climate change. The idea I wanted to share was that the leaders may not always do the right thing, and how us, the people, have to take action ourselves to make our planet better. That is why the main theme of my story is about legacy, how if you take action now to save our planet, we can leave a better planet for our children, our children's children, and so on.
That's such a powerful message. And it's really so encouraging to hear you saying that at such a young age, speaking about the importance of people taking action and not waiting for leaders to do the right thing. You know, what really struck me about your book, apart from its profound message, was that the writing was so captivating and action packed. It's a novella that's only about 70 pages, and you know, the chapters move pretty quickly. So of course I sat down to read it, and I didn't get up until I finished the whole book. And I really enjoyed the experience. I enjoyed learning seeing how you did the buildup of characters, and you really were able to draw your readers into the story. I'm sure our audience would love to hear a short passage from your book. Could you maybe read a section of one of your favorite chapters for us?
Okay, sure. So if you don't know, the book is divided into 72 pages or 18 chapters. And I'm going to read my favorite part, the beginning of chapter 6. Graham opened his vintage LL Bean backpack and stuffed into it his weekly ration of dried fruit bars, a loaf of bread, and water. He first emptied the water into his 100% biodegradable Harry Potter bottle, a gift from his parents for his 10th birthday. He also packed an old photo of his mother and father, two flashlights, some climbing equipment, a change of clothes, the map, and a small diary. He opened the diary to the first blank page and started writing. Today I leave for the cave, what I call the Vault of Secrets. This trip to stop EOC is my primary goal, and in no way will I travel to Mars, even if I do return from this journey. God has given us our mortal body and our amazing brain to use until we die, and expects us to use them in the proper and correct way. He wants us to use our talents, so why give up? Why weep, even when it feels like everything around you is lost? War, tragedy, and death will never end by us ignoring they exist or by responding with knee-jerk reactions. It's how we think of it that matters. How we think of all that horror can make us take action and change the world. It's like we're in a video game that simulates choices for us to make. But unlike a video game where we, an outsider, control what the characters do, in the real world, we choose what to do with no one controlling us. That is God's gift to us. We can make our own choices, good or bad. If we feel hopeless and say, oh no, surely we can't stop it, then we will act like there's no hope. But we shouldn't. We need to think of a plan, come up with ideas, and believe that anything is possible. That is why I am going to the Vault of Secrets, because there's a chance I might find something there that will help stop EOC. Something is drawing me there. I know not who or what. As a scientist, I find it hard to explain. It will be tough, and I might die before I save mankind. But dying like a true and righteous man is better than dying in sadness and sorrow. I am not as brave as I want to be, though. I am scared. I don't know what else to say, but if I can complete my quest to reach the Vault of Secrets and use what I find there to save my fellow men, that I don't need anything more in my life, that will be my legacy. Graham placed the diary back inside his knapsack and fixated on his destination. He thought of the immense happiness he would feel after completing the journey and finally reaching the Vault of Secrets. This relaxed him. At about 6 p.m., he finally headed out. It was unusually quiet, except for the faint sounds of a few night birds chirping. Graham looked at his map, checking it very carefully to make sure he was going in the right direction. He was a man on a mission.
Awesome. Thank you, Avi. So descriptive, and uh, you know, you're able to paint a picture with words. Really, really, I'm excited to see what more you're going to create in the future. So tell me, was the character of Graham inspired by a real person, or were any of the characters inspired by real people?
Well, I've seen a lot of different people in my life. Some of the actions that Graham takes, like how he's strong and he never gives up, was inspired by a lot of people I met, friends and family. But it was not inspired by one specific person.
Cool. You know, we have a lot of parents and grandparents listening to this conversation, and I'm sure that they're admiring the wonderful job your parents and family have done to encourage and support you in pursuing your passion for writing. What support did your family and your parents in particular provide you to be able to write this novella?
Well, I've done a ton of different activities over the years, including karate and running club. And my family's always helped me with that. And whether the activity be physical or mental, I always try to give it my best shot. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose, but I try to persist. So that has really helped me in my writing, and my family has always been there for me. So they've really helped in that. Moreover, the 3 month deadline I had to write my book actually really motivated me to finish writing the story since I only had a set amount of time. As a family before the pandemic, I did attend Bal Vihar classes at the local temple. I learned yoga and meditation. I also used to go swimming, running, and I would eat out with my family. And during those times, I got to think more about my ideas in a clear, peaceful place.
That's a lot. You're involved in so many things, and it sounds like you're also a person of many talents with varied interests. And you really definitely have a bright future ahead. Tell us about what's occupying your time these days. Are there any projects in the works, or what do you enjoy doing outside of writing?
I do many things when I'm not writing. I like taking walks around the neighborhood, listening to music, and of course, playing video games. Since the pandemic, I've started to enjoy making video reviews of movies, books, etc. I wrote many reviews for Stone Soup magazine, and I thought it'd be a cool idea to make a multimedia version of that. I'm actually creating a website where I can publish my reviews and invite other people to add their own. It's currently in development right now.
Awesome. Let us know when we can check out your website. I want to end our conversation by asking you if you could share some words of advice or inspiration for young authors out there who may be hesitating to write their own stories.
Yes, I would like to say first that anybody can create something no matter how young or old you are. And these are my tips for writing. First, I always like jumping through the story, sometimes creating the end before making the beginning. It can be very satisfying because if you know where the story will land, then you have a big goal and you can drive the whole story to that goal. Second, don't be too judgmental of your first draft. I always found that writing without going over all your mistakes allows you to enjoy creating your story more and increases your motivation. After you create your rough draft, that's when I recommend you go and revise it. Lastly, spend a lot of time planning your idea first, like a lot. It's tempting to just jump into it, but if you start writing without knowing your full idea, you will get lost in the story and get more frustrated with it.
That's excellent advice from an award-winning author. Abhi's book, 3 Days Till EOC, is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart.com, as well as Stone Soup's online store. I highly encourage all of you to purchase and read it and feel inspired to take action about climate change. Abhi, it's been wonderful speaking to you. And on behalf of the entire Hindu Temple of Antelope Valley community, thank you so much for joining me in this conversation. We look forward to seeing you and hearing from you in person at one of our future events at the temple.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me here.
Charanam, Jai Nandalala. Hello everyone, my name is Vilvanath Venkatesh, and through this essay competition, I have an opportunity to share with you some of my greatest experiences with Shri Amma. A little bit about myself. I am currently residing in Canada and studying finance in university. I had the opportunity to grow up in Sri Amma's house thanks to my family's close association with her, and she was the one who named me. Now, let me move on and share with you my essay. A phenomenon of all the things that have been granted to us in this life. Srimati Matyoli R. Saraswati, affectionately known as Sri Amma, is a true treasure who will always be loved and cherished. She is the one who protects us, guides us, and ensures that all of us find peace and happiness both within ourselves and with our friends and family. Amongst all the miracles that she has shared, Sri Amma has enormously impacted the lives of every person she comes across through her kind and genial nature and her wise standing as a guru. Firstly, Sri Amma continually encouraged those around her to pursue any hobbies or interests they had to find their callings in life. Sometimes she would even steer people towards their interests when their minds and hearts felt confused or lost. I have experienced this firsthand, where Sri Amma always encouraged me to question everything and learn from every situation, regardless of success or failure. She would always have time for my questions, no matter how insignificant the topic, and would venture to answer them with a kind and knowing smile. Thanks to that, I was able to learn amazing new skills that have been with me to this very day. And without her encouragement, this may not have been possible. And I can speculate her doing the same for many others. Following that, Sri Amma always encouraged children to pursue their educations and to be involved with their communities. I can still recall my own childhood, where I would be encouraged to run around and help out with any and all of the Nandalala functions that myself and my family were fortunate enough to participate in. Thanks to this, I was able to interact with many people who were around and able to build my social skills, an invaluable set of skills in our current world. On the topic of education, Sri Amma always encouraged children to pursue their education and resolved to provide this opportunity to as many people as possible. This was done in the form of various awards, scholarship opportunities, and she even went ahead and built a school for those less fortunate in Hyderabad called Mathioli Vidya Bhavan. Finally, Sri Amma was a guide for those who needed clarity on their endeavors. While her decisions may not have always been very clear, there was always a reason for her actions. My personal experience was during a critical stage in my high school life. We were supposed to select the core subjects for our final high school year, our senior year. And these were the subjects that would allow us to pursue higher level courses in university. At this point, I was not sure what that I wanted to focus on. I had spent majority of my school time studying the sciences. Again, I wasn't so sure, so I went ahead and asked her. The results were shocking and quite stressful at that time. Sri Amma asked me to pursue finance, which was one of the most popular courses in the school, and it was not something that you were easily able to enter unless you were within that stream since the very beginning. I steeled myself and jumped in headfirst anyway. And to my utter surprise, the school accepted my request, and more importantly, I discovered a new subject that I was passionate about, that interested me, all of which was thanks to her guidance. In conclusion, Sri Amma has been a guiding force who always helps those in need, regardless. She always acts with the best intentions in mind for those around her and ensures everyone has peace in their lives. Thank you so much.
Matiyoli Charnam, Jane Nandalala, Namaskarams to Pujya Shri Akka. My name is Shyam Siva Ganesh. I just have completed my third year in Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in upstate New York and am currently located in New Jersey. I'm very happy to have been given this opportunity to take part in this essay competition and write about Sri Akka. And today I will be reading out what the essay that I wrote. Pujya Shri Akka has provided us with lessons which we can carry throughout our life. I have had the blessing and privilege to be in close association with her and hence have had a fair share of experiences. She has guided me throughout my life and has molded me into who I am today. I will share a few of my experiences and lessons that I have learned from Ambal during my stay in Chennai. Ambal was particular about certain things. Number one, working to one's maximum potential. One incident I recall was after my 10th board exam results came out. I had not given my 100% for it, and she was fully aware of that. I had just crammed for the exams at the very, very last moment. The results came out when I was in New Jersey, and Sri Akka had also come to our house at around the same time. She eagerly asked what my overall grade was and was disappointed to hear that I had gotten a good grade, but nothing close to what my potential was. Seeing her disappointment in me, I knew I had to improve and get a better score on my 12th boards. This time I sincerely worked hard from the very beginning. Do your number two, do your part with full confidence and leave the rest to God. This is another thing that Pujya Akka taught all of us. 1 month before my 12th board exams, I visited Sri Akka's house and asked her to mark some pages in my textbook for me to study. This was something I had heard from various people that she did for them before their exams, and I had hoped that she would do the same for me because it would also make my job easier. However, for me, she simply replied no with her classic smile. She claimed that I was already well prepared and would do very well in the exams. She asked me to come to Jayamala, which is her residence, every day to study for the last 1 month before the exam started. And so I did. This was during February to March 2018 when Sri Akka's health was very frail, going in and out of hospital. Despite this, she gave me permission to do namaskaram daily every day after studying before I left. My results came out in May 2018 after Sri Akka had left her physical form. I was feeling very miserable because I had scored very well with her blessings, getting even school awards, and I could not tell her about this in person. That same day, we had gone to Tiruvanekkaval temple in Trichy, the Akhilandeswari temple, and I conveyed the message directly to Ambal itself. I was relieved. I knew that she had heard it and she was very happy. Number three, Ambal taught us all discipline. Living a disciplined life was something Akka taught all of us. While I was in Chennai, Pujyasri Akka introduced me to the J team, which was a male group of volunteers for Nandalala, a young group. We were involved in cleaning the temple premises daily. In addition to that, once a month, we did the Sannidhi cleaning, which was basically cleaning the inner sanctums of the Krishna and Pulayar Sannidhi. To be a part of this, Ambal had set a strict set of rules to be followed. This included 2 days prior to cleaning, no outside food, no consumption of onion or garlic, no screen time, inclusive of phone, television, or laptop, except for work purposes, and the recital of one sloka 36 times every day, and no listening to any movie songs. We were supposed to withdraw from any sorts of entertainment and be focused with no distractions whatsoever. This was important before entering the Lord's Sannidhi, and I sure felt very peaceful every time we stepped inside. Number four, I will be talking about how Pujishri Akka taught us time management. Our J theme is involved in Oyali. This is a special dance with the Lord on the palanquin on certain special festivals. I participated in this dance many times in Chennai. One time it was around my 12th board exams. There was an Oyali for the younger kids that was arranged by us, wherein the older kids were expected to provide support from the sides. However, that time I got a little lazy and decided that studying was more important, and I ultimately skipped the event. The next day, when I had gone to Ambal's house, she asked me directly if I really had no time to attend the event. She was upset that I skipped it. She obviously knew I was lazy and I could have easily made it. From then onwards, I realized the importance of prioritizing tasks and proper time management. I apologized to her directly as I had learned my lesson at that moment and never skipped any event afterwards. Nandalala is not for pastime, it is sincerity and determination all the way, and that is what I learned. These are just few droplets from the whole ocean of experiences that I have had with Amba. Thank you again for this great opportunity. Jay Nandalala, Matioli Sarnam.